Your weight?
225, 245 with clothes on. You're a little spy for the corporation. You don't argue with a crazy man.
You were just told to leave and you left.
I left, and then they 69 me, and they told me not to come back otherwise.
In 2022, officers from a local police department responded to a battery complaint at a neighborhood laundromat. The caller, an elderly man named John, alleged he had been physically assaulted by the business owner. What the responding officers discovered was a situation complicated by conflicting accounts, absent video evidence, and questions about mental health that would test their investigative skills and de-escalation training. This analysis examines the legal implications of speeding as battery, the boundaries of self-defense, and how law enforcement handles disputes when critical evidence is missing.
Must have been 18 or 19. I don't know who she is. I don't know who these people are. But she never liked me from the get-go. So she's watching me all this time. I run in from a friend from Hooters, Brooke. I'm talking to her. And then I decided to go get her a little gift. And when I came back, she left. And so I'm just sitting there, and they're both, her and her, the other cohort worker, this man, Hispanic man.
Officer Sanchez arrives to find John visibly agitated outside the laundromat. John immediately claims he was physically assaulted, stating the business owner struck him and threw him out. Notice how Officer Sanchez maintains a calm demeanor while allowing John to explain his version of events. This approach aligns with standard de-escalation protocols, which emphasize active listening and reducing emotional tension before conducting a formal investigation. John's claim centers on being pushed out of the establishment after what he describes as an unprovoked attack.
So I tell her to fuck you, and then it gets worse, so I spit on the floor. I miss her. I don't intentionally mean to spit on her. I spit on the floor. I know that's probably wrong. It's a sign of disrespect. Now, I didn't spit on her intentionally, okay? And then I'm walking away.
Okay, you said you didn't spit on her intentionally?
No.
Okay.
No. Swear to God.
Well, and that's the thing. I have to talk to both people.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I'm telling you the truth.
You're fine. You just keep stepping closer to me.
I'm sorry.
All right.
So I turned to go and leave.
Okay.
All right, the gentleman or the co-worker comes up from behind me, shoves me so hard I go airborne.
Okay.
I land on the floor.
Okay.
On the tile floor, and he does this.
Okay.
He bricks a nail.
That happened when you fell?
Yeah, I fell,
Okay.
and now my arm is numb and it hurts, and I do the X-ray. I get X-ray, but I wanted to have that done before, because all my stuff is behind here. I'm banned from the property, but I have the...
Under common law principles adopted by most U.S. jurisdictions, battery is defined as any intentional, unlawful, and harmful or offensive touching of another person. This includes acts like spitting, which courts have consistently held constitutes battery, even without physical injury. The key legal question here involves determining who initiated the unlawful contact, and whether any subsequent force was legally justified as self-defense.
I left, and then they 69 me, and they told me never come back otherwise. And you can talk to.
I'm working on RP right now, 7-3.
Inside the laundromat, Joshua presents a dramatically different narrative. He alleges that John spit at him, prompting him to push John out of the establishment in self-defense. This raises a critical legal distinction. If John did spit at or near Joshua, this could constitute assault or battery under state law, potentially justifying Joshua's responsive force. The doctrine of self-defense, as established in numerous precedents, allows individuals to use reasonable force to protect themselves from imminent harm or offensive contact. However, the force used must be proportional to the threat faced. Joshua's decision to push rather than strike suggests a measured response designed to remove the threat rather than retaliate.
What time did you get to the laundromat? Was it this one right here?
Yeah, it must have been, must have been 11 o'clock, 11 to, and they kicked me out at 10 to noon.
And you said you were there, you bought a coffee from them?
Yeah, I bought it, I gave them $1 on the tray.
Okay. And you said they were watching you, making sure you did laundry?
Yeah, because they said if you're not doing laundry, you gotta go. We don't want you here. Rules, regulations, all that crap. I know they just got robbed.
Okay. So when they were watching you, you said, "What are you looking at?" It turned into an argument, and then what'd you say happened?
Well, she started verbally cussing me, and it escalated where she started to fuck off. And I told her, they videotaped the whole thing. They incriminated themselves, so as for the video. But yeah, I just said basically that. I said, I got pissed off, and I stood on the floor, and I told her to go out. And then I turned around, he shoved me from behind. I said, you should never have done that. You don't know who I am. You don't want to know who I am.
So when you spit on the floor, you said you didn't mean to spit on her, but did you?
No, I did not.
Okay. Where did you spit near her? Where was it?
She was about this far away from me.
Okay. And you spit
I said, like here, and she's like there. Listen, I'm not going to spit on a woman or anyone. I spit for disrespect.
And it was a Hispanic lady, the owner?
Lisa. No, it's Lisa. Lisa from I know her. which is really embarrassing.
Oh, so you know Lisa?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Lisa was telling you to leave and get.
No, Lisa was not here. That's the thing.
Oh,
it's
I
not
see.
between me and Lisa. It's between
No,
her.
that's all I was asking.
Yeah,
you know that
Lisa's not involved, but it's her employee.
Hold on. The lady, what was her name? Do you know her?
I don't know.
You said she's a Hispanic lady?
Yeah.
Younger?
Young, I'd say maybe 21. And then there's a gentleman who was older man than me, probably 65, who wanted to beat the shit out of me, but didn't because I was on the floor. I'm like, why don't you just shoot me? Why don't you just
So
and I told him,
was it because
As
you
the
were arguing with
investigation
her?
progresses, Officer Sanchez employs a standard investigative technique by separating the parties to prevent further confrontation and obtain independent statements. John's behavior during this phase raises important considerations. His omission of past conflicts at this location, combined with his increasingly agitated demeanor, suggests a pattern that officers must weigh when assessing credibility. Law enforcement officers are trained to recognize potential mental health indicators, which can affect how they approach and resolve disputes. While mental health issues don't excuse criminal behavior, they can influence an officer's decision-making regarding arrests versus alternative resolutions.
I went airborne, and then I landed on my elbow. And I said, you shouldn't
So
do
did
that.
you saw him come from behind you?
No,
or?
I did not. It was a blind. I didn't hear him. I didn't see him. It was an assault from the back. He shoved me so hard I went airborne.
Okay. So when you fell, you turned around. Who'd you see behind you?
Behind me, it was those two. And then they're telling me to get out. I'm like, I waited for the police. They tried calling 911. They couldn't call 911 because the systems were down.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so I'm just telling, like, you know, I'm not going to kill you, but somebody else might, you know, in the future. And not me.
You didn't
and then
see,
she thinks I'm threatening her, which I'm not.
So you didn't see him push you, but you think
did
it
not.
was. Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
Not at all.
So that's where, and then the female and the male were both standing behind you, and you said they were telling you to leave.
Yeah, and then they're telling me to fuck off, and she's telling me to fuck off on the floor.
And then the injury to you is on your elbow?
Yes.
Okay.
The elbow and the hands, and yeah.
A critical challenge emerges when officers discover the laundromat lacks security cameras. Without video evidence or independent witnesses, this becomes a credibility assessment between two conflicting accounts. In such situations, officers must rely on physical evidence consistency of statements and their training in detecting deception. The absence of visible injuries on John despite his claims of being struck contrasts with the defensive nature of Joshua's account. This evidentiary gap illustrates why many businesses now consider security cameras essential not just for theft prevention but for liability protection in dispute.
Legs are kind of, this leg is kind of feeling right in here. Right in here, the side of the hamstring.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so then you got up and just walked over here?
Then I got in and walked over here. I had a little talk with Victoria. Okay. She said, Johnny, you shouldn't do that after Lisa did all that. Did that for you. And I said, well, I didn't mean to spit on her. I didn't spit on her. And she said, you should have done that. She got really pissed off. I said, God be with you. She said, God be with you. And I left.
Okay. And you already got checked out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the paperwork if you want to see that.
Okay.
I had to go to the hospital. I had other urgent care to get
so I'm going to go talk to them and, you know, see if they have any footage. I don't know. You said they were recording?
They video camera, yeah, with their cell phone.
Okay.
And I'm missing my cell phone.
Okay. You said you have your stuff in the
back. I was
back?
camping out in the back, so I can't go back there. I got.
Is it in the back of the property?
Not the property, in the city property.
Yeah. Okay.
In the woods.
But it's not inside the.
No.
Okay.
No.
So then that could be up to you. You can go get it.
When criminal charges cannot be substantiated due to insufficient evidence, law enforcement often turns to trespass warnings as an alternative resolution. Under most state statutes, property owners have broad authority to exclude individuals from their premises. Once a formal trespass warning is issued, returning to the property becomes a criminal offense, typically a misdemeanor punishable by arrest. This tool allows officers to prevent future conflicts without making arrests based on disputed facts.
Charges on your end. Okay, you would like to pursue charges. So this is how it works, because it didn't happen in our presence. We would have to investigate, and then we'll determine if there is enough. Then you would get summoned to court, and they would get summoned to court, and the judge will determine there. Okay. Do you have an address? Is it to get mail?
I guess, yeah.
Where do you get mail?
I don't get mail.
Okay.
I'm homeless.
People get heated, and you know some people let the things get the better of them.
I mean, if they apologize, maybe I'll let them off.
And I can't, you know what I mean? I can't tell people to apologize or not. I'm here to investigate if the battery did occur and who was the aggressor, and then go from there.
Officer Sanchez demonstrates professional restraint as John becomes increasingly argumentative about the proposed resolution. The officer clearly explains that Without corroborating evidence, he cannot make an arrest based solely on conflicting statements. This adherence to evidentiary standards, while frustrating to complainants, protects against wrongful arrests and upholds due process. The decision to issue a trespass warning represents a practical compromise. It validates Joshua's property rights while avoiding a potentially unjust arrest. John's reaction to this resolution, including threats to return and continue aggressive behavior, ironically reinforces concerns about his conduct that may have precipitated the initial confrontation.
They get upset and spit on your floor.
And then I ask them to leave. Simple as that. You don't argue with people who fucking do that.
So
I'm a manic depressive, for God's sakes. I'm without medication.
So we're done on your end.
Yes.
I'm gonna go get with them, talk to them. If you need to go to the hospital, go from there. We'll stay in touch, and you'll get a summons if anything. Okay?
Right,
do you have any other questions?
Just tell them I apologize.
Okay, I'll let them know
I'm sorry. I mean, but it was so unnecessary for him to shove me from behind. He just saw him in his back.
Right.
Yeah, I want to charge you.
Okay. All right, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Officer Sanchez, did you want the case number?
Yeah. Please.
Okay.
Like I said, I apologize, but it was so unnecessary. I was leaving. You don't argue with a crazy man. I'm a manic depressive, and I damned him to hell, and I did not threaten her life. I just said, we'll all die. You're going to die sometime, and you're going to regret it.
And like I said,
as officers conclude their investigation, the outcome reflects the challenging reality of law enforcement decision-making with imperfect information. Without clear evidence of criminal conduct, the trespass warning serves to separate the parties and prevent escalation. This case underscores the importance of security cameras for businesses and the complexities officers face when investigating disputes between parties with potentially unreliable narratives.
I don't know what happened. I just know he said he got pushed.
So he did. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I made contact with him.
Yeah. And then he told me he was gonna fucking kill me, and then threw cigarettes at me.
He threw cigarettes at you?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously everything's pretty cleaned up.
Right.
So when he spit at me and got in my face and called me an effing bitch, that's when my boyfriend shoved him away from me because look at my size.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and he was defending you, and I get it.
Right.
Time for grades. Officer Sanchez receives a B+. He maintained professionalism throughout the challenging interaction, properly investigated both sides, and reached a reasonable resolution given the evidence available. Points were deducted for not fully exploring the mental health angle that might have provided additional context. John receives a D grade. While he had the right to report alleged assault, his aggressive demeanor, admission of past conflicts, and threats to return, despite the trespass warning, demonstrate poor judgment and potential instigation. Joshua earns a B-. His claim of self-defense appears credible, and he cooperated with the investigation. However, the lack of security cameras in his business and escalation that led to physical contact prevent a higher grade. The department receives a B grade for appropriate response and investigation protocols, though enhanced mental health training could improve outcomes in similar situations. This case highlights the importance of evidence in criminal investigations and the practical tools law enforcement uses when prosecution isn't viable. Business owners should invest in security systems, while citizens should understand that self-defense must be proportional and that making false accusations can have legal consequences. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic you'd like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our second channel, BCS Bodycam Stories, for even more police interaction and courtroom content.
That's when he came back again, was saying those comments to that girl.
Yeah, so he was here at 11, he said, right? And
then
he
tried to come last night, because I just talked to my closer. He tried to come last night at 10:55, and we closed at 11. And I guess he was trying to get inside my friend's daughter's Jeep, because she came to pick up her mom. So it's just like a reoccurring thing.
Okay, yeah. So I just want to get, like I told him, I'm gonna come talk to both of you, see exactly what happened, and then regardless, I'm gonna do the report and see what happened. But he came in at 11, and then you said he was just kind of hanging out here, not washing?
Well, the first time he came in, it was like 8:30 in the morning, because that's the one he was harassing was one of my regulars, and that's the time she comes in.
Okay.
Because he'll come in and he has like a boom box, and he plays it really loud, and my boss has already told him before, like, to not be doing that, but last time she couldn't kick him out because he was washing.
Okay.
So with this one, it was 8:30, and then he did leave when I just kind of lingered right there and stared at me, because I don't like to get confrontational, you know, but especially because it is only me.
Yeah.
And then he came in again at, I guess, around whatever time I had called.
So he was here at 8:30, and was he washing clothes, or what was he doing?
No, he was just in here. So each time he was just in here.
And what time did he leave after?
For the first time?
For the first time.
It was pretty quick, so 10 minutes after.
And then he came back at what time?
Let me see what time I called you guys at, because it kind of all happened all at once, and then I had orders to take care of right after.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so maybe 11:30 because it was 11:57 that I kept trying to contact you guys. So.
Yeah, I know our phone lines are down, and it's just
there was 3 of us. We called
now,
like 16 times, and then like it like scared me, right? Because he's like he kept doing this to me, saying I was gonna go to hell and he was gonna get me, and then the phone wasn't ringing. I was like, oh my god, some voodoo magic.
Yeah, I know, and people are freaking out. And they're trying to find other ways. Like they had to go through state police, and then they have to relay that to us.
Yeah.
The time lapse is just
insane. So then I had the other girl who opens and the other one that like dealt with him come to the laundromat. I called her. I was like, hey, like the 911 isn't working. Like, can you come over here? So she came, and then he got into it with her in the parking lot, and then he like again. This one she was in her car, so he spit on the floor, and then.
And who is that other?
Her name is Victoria.
And they were yelling at each other outside.
Yeah, because she came and she's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? Like, kind of thing." Because not that any of us are friends. It's just my boss is trying to be like nice and not whatever, but like you give an inch, they take a mile.
Exactly, and that's the thing where you be nice. You're nice to them and try to give a little bit of help, and they take advantage.
Right.
So, okay, so she showed up talking to him outside, and they were yelling at each other out there.
So she had pulled up because all of us, we finally got him to get out because the other girl, the one who was making the nasty comments to,
right.
She had a guy come in, like, and then so the guy, like, because he was just sitting on the floor, he wouldn't get up. He's like, nope, I'm gonna stay right here. Like, I'm not, like, whatever. So I mean, we kept trying to call. So then this other guy just came, and then he's all like, you help me up because these 3 are like the devil or whatever. So he didn't want us touching him. And so the other guy just like helped him up, but then he kept trying to like throw himself back on the floor.
Yeah.
So that's why too. I was like, nobody like touch him, like do not touch him. So he kept trying to do that, but then he did finally get up and leave. And while he was leaving is when the other girl finally showed up, and then he like went and then was yelling at her inside the car, and she's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this kind of thing?"
And she doesn't work here. The girl that.
No, she works here.
Okay.
She's another person.
And that's Victoria.
Victoria.
Okay, so.
You can see her on what is today?
Today is Tuesday.
So, she comes Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, those are hers mornings.
Okay. So he got up, left, and went out this way or that way?
Okay, so because the house is right here, so we got him to leave out of this door and then he went
and then Victoria was here talking to him for a little bit, and then did he come back in? Or?
No. So he just left after he.
So where did the incident where he spit and then he got pushed? Was that before he left?
Yeah, so before he left, it all. So I guess from the very beginning.
Yes.
He came minus the 8:30.
Yeah. No, that's fine. So when he came back inside, he was on the floor.
No. So he was on purpose because my boyfriend had shoved him.
Okay.
001 Central.
Right here, the girl left and walked right there because again he was making those nasty comments.
So to a girl.
Yeah.
And she left.
So she stood right here because he was right in here.
Okay.
So then I went up to him. Or first he said something to me because I just looked at him and he's like, what are you, the fucking FBI? And he's like, why do you keep staring at me? And I was like, well, I keep staring at you to see if you're gonna do any laundry. I was like, and you're not, so I need you to leave. And then he got mad. He's like, I don't have to fucking go nowhere. He's like, Lisa, which is my boss. He's like, Lisa said I can be in here. And I was like, no, you can't. I said, as per policy, I said you need to leave. Blah blah blah. Like that's kind of where it started. And then as I'm speaking to him, I'm walking towards him because what I do is I have to kind of like
push him out,
without touching. And so when I got up to him, he's like, well, you know what, fuck you, bitch. And then he spit at me, and then like I went like that, and then when he did that, that's when my boyfriend like shoved him.
So when you were walking towards him, where did he?
So I was walking right here, and then he was right here, so he spit right here.
So he spit towards you, okay?
Yeah, and then so my boyfriend shoved him, fell right here, and then he fell inside here.
Okay. So your boyfriend was right behind you, or?
He was like sitting right there, like on that thing. And then when he spit at me, then he jumped up and shoved him.
Okay. Okay. So, did you think he was going to spit at you at that time?
No, I didn't know he was going to.
Okay, but when you saw him spit, did it almost hit you, or where did it spit?
Well, because at first he went like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if he did the loopy line. So that's why when he did that, and then when he was about to, then I was like, okay, no. So he got like a bit of my shoe, but like otherwise most of it did fall on the floor. I don't know what happened with my phone. Like, it literally recorded 2 seconds of, like, the very ending. But anyway, I don't know if you found him. I kept it just so you can see.
Yeah.
But he looks like the end.
Yeah.
So you can have it.
Okay, so he hawked up and was going to spit at you, and you were trying
he was already standing.
Yeah. But he was hawking up like a loogie
Yeah.
to spit at you, and then you said you were trying to move away before he did?
Yeah, well, because when he did that, I was like, okay, like, you know.
And then when you were moving, he spit. And
well,
then,
not right here, but like right here.
Yeah.
So he didn't throw it on me right here.
yeah, but he towards
At
you.
me.
Okay.
So it did hit my shoe, but it was mostly on the floor.
And then your boyfriend,
Jumped up because he heard him. So he jumped
so
up
he
when
thought he
heard-
had spit at you.
Well, because he did.
Yeah.
But
he didn't see the initial, he just heard it, saw it, and then went up to push him away?
And then I don't know if he can go, like, I don't know if you'll need to do all this, but, like, the girl who works at Hooters, she said she did see him and heard him too.
Right.
But again, I didn't get her contact information.
It's okay. What's your boyfriend's name?
Joshua?
Joshua? He spit at you, landed next to you and on your shoe, and then your boyfriend got up to push him away.
Yes.
And then he
After
fell on
that,
the ground.
Yeah, after that, nobody touched him.
Okay.
And then that's when he crawled and backed up against the washer and said, first he said, we're all gonna fucking die, we're going to hell, and he's like saying all of that mostly towards me because I was trying to keep him and another customer who jumped up to try and help me, like to not like try and fight him.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of sat right there, and again, he just kept telling me, more like, get out, like, leave.
What else? What other verbal stuff was he telling you?
It was just, so the main things that he kept repeating over and over besides, like, you're going to hell is, you're gonna fucking die, just you watch. And then, when I repeat to him what he's telling me, because he's like, and I'm gonna get you because you assaulted me, and I was like, okay, but you spitting on me, you throwing your cigarettes at me, and you telling me you're gonna kill me. I was like, it's not, like wrong. And then the only thing he kept saying is I didn't spit on you, but he didn't deny any of the other two.
Yeah, and he was throwing cigarettes. Where was he throwing cigarettes at you?
Same spot.
Okay.
So after he went on the floor is when he started throwing the cigarettes at me.
How many cigarettes did he have? Did you photograph any of that by chance?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Like I said, it was like, I don't know what happened. I was trying to record the whole thing, but it only gave me 2 seconds. But there was about 3 cigarettes that he threw all 3 at me. So he was breaking them and throwing them at me.
Okay, and then that was before or after?
This was, so he had just got put on the floor, and then he was backing up, and as he was backing up, he was breaking the cigarettes and throwing them at me. And then he was like, here, you fucking bitch, because you're going to hell, like, burn with the smoke.
Now let's examine the likely legal outcomes of this case. Based on the evidence presented and similar cases in US jurisdictions, several scenarios could unfold. The most probable outcome, with approximately 70% likelihood, is that no criminal charges will be filed against either party. The lack of video evidence, absence of independent witnesses, and conflicting testimonies create reasonable doubt that prosecutors typically avoid. Instead, the trespass warning issued to John effectively resolves the immediate conflict by legally preventing his return to the premises. A less likely scenario with about 20% probability involves a plea bargain where John might accept a reduced charge such as disorderly conduct. This would typically result in probation, a small fine, or community service while avoiding the more serious battery charge. The prosecution might pursue this route if John has prior criminal history or if additional evidence emerges. Joshua will likely avoid charges entirely given his credible self-defense claim and status as a property owner defending his business. The least likely outcome, representing only 10% probability, will be formal prosecution for battery or assault charges. This would require prosecutors to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that John's spitting constituted battery, or conversely that Joshua's pushing exceeded lawful self-defense. Given the evidentiary challenges and relatively minor nature of the altercation, most prosecutors would decline to allocate resources to such a case. The burden of proof in criminal cases makes conviction unlikely without clear evidence. Several factors influence these probabilities. John's apparent mental health issues might lead prosecutors to recommend diversion programs rather than criminal prosecution. His admission of previous conflicts at this location establishes a pattern that undermines his credibility as a victim. Additionally, the responding officer's decision not to make immediate arrest signals their assessment that criminal charges weren't warranted. This initial law enforcement determination often carries significant weight. with prosecutors reviewing cases for charging decisions. From a civil liability perspective, both parties face minimal exposure. John could theoretically sue Joshua for battery, but his own conduct and lack of damages make success unlikely. Joshua could countersue for assault based on the spitting allegation, but pursuing civil litigation over such a minor incident rarely proves cost-effective. The trespass warning provides Joshua with stronger legal protection going forward, as any future encounter would constitute criminal trespass, shifting the legal burden entirely to John. This case illustrates a fundamental principle in criminal justice. Not every conflict results in criminal prosecution, nor should it. The system includes various off-ramps designed to resolve disputes without formal charges when evidence is weak or the public interest doesn't demand prosecution. Trespass warnings, no contact orders, and civil remedies often provide more practical solutions than criminal prosecution. For businesses, this case emphasizes the critical importance of surveillance systems, not just for security, but for legal protection in disputes. Looking at broader implications, this incident highlights gaps in mental health resources within the criminal justice system. John's behavior suggests underlying issues that a trespass warning doesn't address. A more comprehensive approach might include mental health evaluation, connection to community resources, or crisis intervention teams trained to handle such situations. Progressive jurisdictions increasingly recognize that cycling individuals with mental health issues through the criminal justice system rarely produces positive outcomes for anyone involved. In conclusion, while we cannot confirm the exact outcome due to absence of public records, the pattern of similar cases suggests this matter was resolved through the trespass warning without criminal prosecution. This resolution, while perhaps unsatisfying to John, who called police expecting arrests, represents appropriate discretion by law enforcement, given the circumstances. The investigating officers correctly recognized that insufficient evidence existed for criminal charges, while still taking action to prevent future conflicts through the trespass order. For viewers encountering similar situations, remember these key takeaways. Document everything with video when possible. Understand that self-defense must be proportional to the threat. Recognize that calling police doesn't guarantee arrests will be made. And most importantly, property owners have significant rights to exclude individuals from their premises, making trespass warnings powerful tools for conflict resolution without criminal prosecution. This analysis demonstrates why body cameras have become essential tools for transparency in law enforcement. They not only protect officers from false accusations, but also provide the public with insight into the complex decisions officers make daily. Without this footage, we wouldn't understand the careful investigation Officer Sanchez conducted or appreciate the challenges of resolving disputes with limited evidence. Thank you for joining us in this legal analysis.